get going here. So this one is recording.
Do I need any makeup or something?
No, I don't think so. So I guess we're ready to get started.
Some of the earliest favorite childhood memories.
So yeah, first one, what are some of your
We
earliest or
didn't have
favorite?
very much to do, you know, just work hard. I did the washing to help the family, and every week I would stay home from school just to do the wash, and we washed it in a wash tub.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you tell them about how Uncle Joe taught you how to do dance?
Oh, Uncle Joe, he loved to dance,
Charleston?
and he showed me how to dance. And my mother was real mad. She said, "How come you're showing her how to dance?" So he says, "Because she knows how." I used to love to dance. And Uncle Bill, too. We both did. I didn't even know who he was or anything. So one day, I was going down the street taking my little niece to her home. She lived about 6 doors away. And so I took her home. I was taking her, and he says, "Who's that girl?" And I says, "Well, that's Miss Josephine's daughter." And he says, "Oh, I didn't even know he had a daughter that I was only 16. I didn't know that she had." So he said to her, he said, "Would you tell her that I would like to see her?" Where am I going to go see him? You know, I didn't go out of the house except take my back and forth to my niece.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. But
Her brother
he
was down.
came and talked to me. So I thought I was flattered more than I couldn't possibly fall in love with him because I was just flattered. That's all.
You were
After
in
that,
arranged?
every time he went by, he would.
It really wasn't arranged. He
It
asked
wasn't.
to court her.
Oh, I see. I thought prior there was some kind of
Well,
arrangement.
there wasn't an arrangement.
Yes, but we were in. Then after that, we got. Not that there was any love there, because how could I love somebody? He's a stranger.
You were promised to someone else, though.
Huh?
You were promised to someone else.
Oh yeah, somebody else was promised for my mother, and him had plotted that I was going to marry this other guy, Uncle Sam, and Camila's cousin. He came for a proposal, and my father says, "She's too young right now." He said, "Let's wait a couple of years."
How old were you?
I was 16.
Okay.
And he said, "We'll wait a couple of years for her." So the poor guy, he was waiting for a couple of years. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that he was, that they had taken care of that. And Uncle Bill, he kept coming. My mother said, "What does this guy want?" You know, she didn't like it. So I says, I think he's trying to court me. My mother says, "I don't want him." He says, "Yeah, I didn't know that I was proposed already to this other guy." So he said, but he kept coming. He was so insistent. He kept coming anyway, even if my parents didn't My father was very good about it. And my mother was she didn't care for him at all. She thought he was, he used to go dancing and he used to like to run around, but then he was single. That was his business and what he wanted to do. But I don't know these things.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. I was so innocent. When I think of it now, I think that was kind of nuts. But the other guy, I didn't know that he had any idea that he wanted to marry me. So I didn't know. I thought it had nobody. But he did. That one insisted. Uncle Bill, oh boy. He was the type that when he wanted something, that was it. As far as I knew, I didn't know what this guy wanted. So he said, asked me if I would marry him. I looked at him and I said, I don't know. I don't know anything about marriage. He says, you don't have to know. You don't know.
Do you,
really bad. It wasn't good. When I think of it now, I wouldn't want my daughter to do that.
but it worked out all right.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You had us.
Because there was no choice. Once you married a person, I don't care how mean or how awful they are, you don't divorce.
Mm-hmm.
No divorces. So that's it.
Do you remember anything about your grandparents, or what do you remember about your parents?
Oh, I have nothing. I never met my grandparents because they were in Italy.
Mm.
Well, not that I think most of them are gone already. I only had one grandfather, and that's all.
And how about your parents? What do you remember about them?
My parents were both living, and they were right there. You couldn't move them away.
Mm-hmm.
There was some guy there. That was it.
Tell them about how Grandpa used to take you on Saturday.
Oh yes, Grandpa, my father, when we would say, Pa, there's William Farnham on the movies, and so it was a Saturday, and he says, okay, and he'd take all the 4 girls and take them off to the show with him.
Were those westerns?
And
Will Farm?
the guys would we'd go by, our family, and she brings her mother, her father, her sister, and her brother. And we'd look at him, how dare you, yeah. That was the type of thing it was so strict.
Mm-hmm.
Too strict, I think. That was too much. Yeah.
So what was it like? You were in your 20s during the Depression. What was that like?
In depression,
During the Depression?
I was married by that time, and we really had it hard. And Grandpa didn't get too much money. He worked at Chrysler, and he didn't make much money at all. But I had no way of knowing how to work out of the home. So I don't know. We managed somehow, but I never got a dime for it.
Did you work at all during that time?
Then when I got older, I had the girls. After I had the girls and they were old enough, I went out to work. And I went to Murray Body during the war. And I used to rivet So they used to say, Rosie the Riveter. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I was real good at it because I used to know how to sew. And I would cut a pattern, and I'd cut it just so, and then I'd sew it just so. That's the way the airplanes went.
Mm.
And I was the A1 person, even if I have to brag about it. And they used to call me Rosie the Riveter.
Oh, okay.
And anyway, I was real good at it. But then the war was over, and they laid everybody off. They did not lay me off. If I wanted to work, I would have to go nights because I was new. So Uncle Bill would not let me go to work. No, you're not going to work at night. He said, you're going to stay home. You got 2 kids, you stay home. And that was it. I enjoyed just my life the way it was, simple.
Where were you living during that time?
Huh?
Where did you live during that
We
time?
lived right in the neighborhood. Now, where I grew up was Hawthorne, near Holland Park. But then we lived by that time we lived on Cameron, and that's where Grandpa and I lived, and the girls. I lived about 7 years there. And after that, the girls didn't like to live in the project. And I said, I think we should buy a home. And Uncle Bill says, I can't afford it. I haven't got the money.
When was
So
this?
I went to work, that's when I went to work at Murray Bodies during the war, it was during the war. And I made enough money to put a down payment on a house. And just a down payment because he paid the rest. And Grandpa, by that time, was working in real estate. And he was making real good, he was a good salesman, a big talker. And he was very good at it. And by that time, he says, well, I don't know why we can't move out there either. So we bought a house there. And what was the name of it?
Palm Beach.
Oh, Palm Beach, the Palm Beach that was in Warren. And we got a real cute house. And I was real happy about that. So we decided Uncle Bill started getting sick. All the time he wasn't feeling good.
Around what time period was this?
This was
And we started going down.
like late 70s, early 80s.
Okay.
Yeah, he had cancer.
Mhm.
I didn't know he had cancer.
I was pretty young, but I remember him a
Yeah.
little bit.
Do you remember?
From there on, I lived by myself. I've been by myself ever since.
He's gone.
So what would you say was a particularly difficult time in your life, and how did you go
I
through it?
had difficult, all the time I had difficult because Uncle Bill likes to play cards. And I don't care how many times, a lot of times we were going to a wedding, and he said, call the kids and you go with the kids. And he would come later. But in the meantime, he did love to dance. He was a good dancer. And I did too. So,
Tell them about your trip to Hawaii, the dance.
oh yeah, then Betty had gone to Hawaii. And she said, oh, if you go any place, go to Hawaii. It's really wonderful. Well, we went to Hawaii. He was so happy there. But we couldn't stay there. It was only about a month or something like
And
that.
the contest you were in?
Huh?
The dance contest you were in?
Oh, yeah, we did, and we were dancing at the polka, and him and I got a prize. We got a nice record and then the music to go with it. Okay, then we went to Uncle Joe, Uncle Tony's, went to Uncle John,
Tell them where they
in
were.
California. He thought since he didn't feel good, that he would take a little bit of vacations now and then. And we went to California, and his brother lived there. We stayed, of course, we didn't pay no hotel or anything, so we stayed with his brother. And we stayed with my brother when we were in Arizona. And all the time we were quite happy just to be there, be able to travel.
Mm-hmm.
How about Italy?
Huh?
How about your trip to Italy? How many times did you
Oh,
go?
yeah, we went about a couple times to Italy. And his niece, Uncle Bill's niece, was getting married. She was engaged for 7 years. And when we came, they got married. They waited till we came there and we were at their wedding. They were real nice. And then they had like an egg, big egg, and inside there was the pasta. That was Italian, and the chicken. They had chicken. It was kind of different, but
What was the Italian wedding like?
it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good. And they treated me like a queen. Very nice. And Jenny and Joanna, her name is Joanna, and the other one, Selena. And they were competing with me. I brought them new clothes. They separated among themselves. And I didn't think much of it because I thought, well, I can always get some more,
They just took them?
Huh?
They just took them from you? They took your clothes?
They said, can I have this? Can I have that? I could never say no, you can't. And they fit him just perfect. And that's it. When I came home, I had a pair of nice boots. It was during the winter. We got that one of them. And they were as high as my knee, almost. And I loved them. It cost me a lot of money at that time. So, but I needed them because we had lots of snow. So when we went to Italy, it was a real snowy day, and I had them on. When I got to Italy, I had my boots. Oh, they loved them. How come you got boots? We had lots of snow. Well, you don't need such high boots, for... I said, yes, you do. So, anyway, one day we went out, they took me out to sightseeing. We come back, she was scrubbing her floor with my boots. But I thought nothing of it. I thought, well, if they can't afford it, they can have it. It seems like my childhood was pretty good compared to some people, so
Do you
I think that There was nothing much, that I could complain about my childhood. We poor, poor as my church mice, but I was happy. I scrubbed clothes and hung them out. I ironed those clothes. But I was happy. My parents were good to us. Both my parents were very good. I don't remember my father ever put a hand on me. And my mother, if she did, it would be very light, we couldn't complain about it too much.
Do you feel like people's attitudes today are much different from the way they were then?
I think people are more generous today.
More generous?
Yeah, and more generous today than they used to be. They used to be a little bit strict, too strict. Now they're more generous with their children, they're more calm, and they're all Americanized because they were born here. Yeah, the ones I know were born here and they're going according to the American way. Now Italy is more open than America. When I went there, one of the girls was smoking, and that was a no-no.
Is there a certain decade or period of your life that you look back on as your favorite?
The best time of your life. What period in your life was the best time of your life?
When the kids were growing up, that was the best time of my life. When they got married, I got real lonely. Because I depended on them too. Because there was always some kind of activity in our family. And it was kind of busy. And I was happy. But
And that would have
after
been a
they got
depression
married,
pretty much.
everybody had their own life. We were still together, but not in the same house. And I'm used to having a whole pile of people in the house. But that's a long time ago. Now I'm living alone for a long, long time. At times, I don't mind it, but there are times when I get very lonely. That's it. And now I'm 104. I never thought I'd live that long because I got a pacer, and that's keeping me alive.
You had a heart attack some time ago?
I had a heart attack. We were living on the project there. We were living in Prison Village. I was cleaning house. All of a sudden I felt like faint, and I felt a pain, real bad pain. And Grandpa walks in and I says, I think I'm getting a heart attack. He goes, oh, come on, you're too young for that.
What year was this?
When I lived in the project, I lived in Prison Village. So he took me to the doctor, and he says, it is fast. He said, it is fast. So they kept me in the hospital for a couple of weeks, and then they sent me home. But I wasn't well until I got that pacer. I still wasn't well after the pacer, but now it's steady. I don't have a lot of pain. Yeah, it's a different.
How do you think somebody makes it to 100 years old?
What?
What do you think is responsible for somebody becoming 100 years old? How do they live? What do you think?
I have no idea. God don't want me. I think that they said that God has me. I've got something to settle before I die. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I said to God, you go ahead and tell me what you want me to do. So far, I'm not well. I'm not able to move freely like I used to. But I'm still living. No matter how I feel, it doesn't matter. I come through it. So I don't understand what it's all about. It's I got that pacer. I think that's what it has something to do with it.
The last question I have here is, based on your life experience, what's the most important piece of advice that you would give to someone?
What advice would you give to young people based on how you live?
A clean life. Give them a clean life, because that's all I did. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do anything of those things that would harm me in any way. So I think that's the only thing I can say. Have a nice, clean life, and that's it.
Any other important lessons you've learned over the years, or?
There's nothing I can say. I really, I got a simple life. It's not complicated. I got a very simple life, and I live one day at a time, just like everybody else. So that's it. I feel my story isn't so thrilling.
Well, thank you, Grandma, for doing this.
Yeah.
It's been nice talking with you.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay.
You need a hand with that?
What, honey?
Just asking her if she wants a hand with that.
I'll get you buttermilk now. Well, English first. I don't think you want that. And I'll cut this.
She should be coming any minute now.
Yeah, I think she was coming right from work.
From work? I hope so. Let me get a ladle.
So she likes to go to Burger King on Saturday.
She likes to go to Burger King every Saturday. We get a junior Whopper, French fries, and a senior Coke. And it's like $5.80 something or for 2 lunches. And it's delicious.
Anything else?